What's going down? Welcome back to the F.T.S podcast. It's your boy Dre back again. You already know what it is, man. It's been a while. I feel like we was doing like 3 episodes a week. Now it's down a little bit. That's not on accident, y'all. I've been heavy on the YouTube lately. Um, Basically just expanding what I'm doing. I told y'all this Disneyland, bro. Like, if you following the podcast regular, you already know I told you there was gonna be new stuff. It's gonna be different stuff, and this is 100% what I meant by that. This is part of that. It's tons of stuff. I'm doing reaction videos on YouTube. I'm putting the interviews that I do. The interviews are going up on YouTube. I'll probably put those up on the podcast maybe as bonus content for people who pay the subscriptions. But all the interviews from now on exclusively on YouTube. Um, Doing sports shit on YouTube. YouTube is really where I'm cracking. I'm putting these on YouTube and actually, you know what I'm saying, while we at it, because uh, oh bruh. Did I go Hollywood on y'all, bro? I ain't even gonna cut it out, y'all. How do we start the podcast? A nigga done came to YouTube, calling it the F.T.S podcast by F.T.S Network instead of the Fuck This Shit podcast. Trying to get monetized. Your boy done. I ain't even. Y'all. We start the podcast the same way by thanking y'all for taking the time out to listen to this bruh. Y'all, I'm slacking. Y'all shouldn't even mess with your boy no more, bro. I'm fake, bruh. I'm not even rich, y'all. I'm still broke. I'm not even popping like that hard. I got like 56 subscribers on YouTube, bro. It's not even cracking like that. I'm just trying to get it started, and I done just changed up. Bro, if I ever get famous, y'all, I'm clearly gonna switch up. I'm gonna be like David Ruffin. I'm gonna be like David Ruffin when he was with his brother. He was trying to get on, and the attempts put him on. He all humble, eating cornbread with the fam. Next thing you know, I'm pulling up to the picnic, snatching bitches up and shit like that. I'm like, get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what I'm gonna be? Wow. I guess it's just too big for some people. Anyway, my bad, y'all. Thank y'all for taking the time out to listen to this. I appreciate it more than I'm showing, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Thank y'all for all the engagement, social media wise, all the feedback, all that stuff. Thank you, Haley, for being the person who's holding y'all down. Anytime that I'm like, if y'all don't do something, I'll blow this motherfucker up. Because I was like, if I don't get another 5-star something on Apple Podcasts, we might have to just burn this thing down. But then Haley was like, I got you. She signed it to her husband's thing, and she left another review just like that. So I mean, I don't care about hook or by crook. Sign it. Do you got a significant other? Take their phone, sign in, leave another review. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for all of that, man. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link. You know what I'm saying? That's in the description. Uh, and go follow all the stuff. All the social medias are there. You want to be a paid subscriber, get access to extra stuff, be one of my favorite kids that gets McDonald's when other kids don't. You know what I'm saying? $4.99 makes me love you. You know what I'm saying? It helps me fund all these wonderful, beautiful things. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. Anyway, what I was saying before I had to, recant was that I'm putting these episodes up on YouTube now. So if you not a broke buster and you got YouTube Premium, if you don't have YouTube Premium, y'all, it's worth the money. I'm not even gonna cap. Being able to close your YouTube on your phone and it still play and no ads, because YouTube has so many ads, bro. It's really worth it. But anyway, if you do, I would actually highly appreciate it if you stop listening to the podcast on your streaming platform and go listen to it on YouTube, because you can still close it on your phone. So I need that watch time to build up, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get monetized. I need 4,000 hours. I only got about 200, but we only been doing it about a month. You know what I'm saying? I did the math. 200, the 4,000 divided by 200, about 20. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that for 20 months to even get monetized. But I'm like, these things build exponentially. It's not actually going to take that long. And it's going to be up to me to create more streams you know what I'm saying, of viewership on the YouTube so that I can get there faster so that I can get their bread. So, uh, don't care though. You know what I'm saying? As long as you listening, you know what I'm saying? I love you anyway. You know what I'm saying? But plus, if you listen on YouTube, then you get to see all the stuff that I'm doing. And lots of the stuff now be so visual. I feel a way when I feel like y'all might be missing out. So, whatever. Um, anyway. What's been going on in my personal life? My youngest daughter moved back to Oklahoma. Um, I think I had talked about that before. But it's been chill. You know what I'm saying? She used to go there and visit, so it's like I'm used to being away from her for a couple of weeks at a time. And I already got my little first time where I'm gonna go get her. I already got that penciled in. You know what I'm saying? So third week of August we go get the baby, and we're gonna be back in effect. You feel me? So we ain't even tripping. Um, my oldest to be back. I actually need to buy her plane ticket the next day or two. Then I gotta buy her school clothes, bruh. Kids are so expensive. It's ridiculous how expensive it is just to be a parent. And honestly, I feel like my mom failed me because she had me and she wasn't filthy fucking rich. And I feel like I failed my kids because I'm not filthy rich, because this working for a living thing is for the birds, the bitch ass birds. It's trash. I'm good on it forever and ever and ever. But it's literally what we have. So ew, right? Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to get her school clothes and school supplies and all that. But luckily she's getting older. Once you get to high school, I feel like you could show up to high school with a pen. You don't really need that many school supplies in high school. A couple binders, maybe a notebook or two, but you know, um, I don't know, man. I think I had told y'all. I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I had the interview with Jabrea. Audio was messed up, so we had to get rid of it. But I'm definitely gonna redo something with him. He dropped his own podcast called The Might Is Mine. You should check that out. I haven't checked it out yet, but from our interview and the small amount of time I spent with him doing the podcast, he's a smart dude and he's funny. So I'm sure his podcast is solid. You should definitely check that out. Um, what else? Man, I really think that's it. We can actually get into the podcast, man, because there's some shit been going down. You know what I'm saying? Uh Speaking of, we was talking about the baby, you know what I'm saying? Y'all if y'all seen this story, y'all really should have known that it was gonna be on here, because y'all know that this is near and dear to my heart. Y'all know me and Blaze being here watching Sesame Street. Y'all know I know the songs. Y'all know that I mess with Sesame Street tough. I got characters that I fuck. And honestly, I'ma just keep it a billion. The fact that it was Rosita, of all the Sesame Street characters that could be out here on this bullshit, that it was Rosita. Rosita be in the Sesame Street. She, first of all, her name is Rosita, and Sesame Street is not shy about throwing an accent on a Muppet. Rosita is a Mexican like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And she cool as hell. She always be putting them on to her shit like, oh, these my people. This what we be on. Because that's what Sesame Street really be on some inclusive, teaching kids about other cultures type shit. That's why I fucks with it. You feel me? If me and Blaze went to Sesame Place, first of all, I'm sick that I found out about Sesame Place in this way to begin with. I would have been in Sesame Place embarrassingly excited. First of all, I told you I know the songs. I would take Blaze to Sesame Place before she was old enough to. I would take her right now. She's only a year and a half. You should really wait until the kid's like 3, 4, so they can really sing the songs and know the characters. She would just be all sensory overload. She might even be scared by him or something. But I would be like, yo, Rosita, my Elmo, Cookie Monster, dum 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 diddy dum. How many cookies? You know what I'm saying? That would be me in there, bro. Me and my baby just having a good time at Sesame Place. But now I find out that Sesame Place is racist, bro. Roll the tape. I'm rolling tape. No, I'm going to read the story first. Because it's a lot of tape. It's a lot. Look, hold on. I'm going to start reading it this way. That way y'all can see the, this is why I say it's visual too. This is Rosita right here, shitting on these little beautiful. Look at the. If you got little black girls, you know they got red tea today. Look at the parts on the little girl in the blue on the left. Them parts got done today. Them braids, little girls, they so rough on their hair. Little girl on the right, her hair has been braided up like that probably for a little while. That's why she's got the pigtails and the buns. You could tell it's just a little fuzzy on the top, but like she got that hair done. She's probably also a little bit older. She still probably only got that hair done less than a week ago because little girls are so hard on their hair because this was an event. She got her hair done for Sesame Place. You understand what I'm saying? They all dressed up. They all cute. They don't match, which I like that. I like that. I like when parents dress their little girls up or their kids up to similar ages where they have a similar vibe, but they don't match. I don't like when people walk in with their kids looking like children of the corns, all with the same clothes on and shit. That's weird to me. They look creepy. They look like they'll eat you. And especially if they're little ginger kids. I'm not racist or anything like that. I don't have any prejudice against red haired people with pale skin. But I'm just saying that when you put your children in matching clothes, they look scary. So anyway, my whole point is these little girls was ready for this day. This was a big day for these little girls. You understand what I'm saying? Sesame Place Philadelphia has issued an apology and said its employees will undergo more training following backlash from a video showing an employee in a Sesame character costume seemingly ignore two small black girls during a parade. Okay. You know what? Actually, yeah. Real quick, I'm going to just show y'all the video really, really fast. Just so that you can really have the context you need. Just in case you haven't seen it, so that while I'm talking about this in real time, you're not like, what is this nigga talking about? Or did it really happen that way? Because they going to say, I remember the claim that they make. And the claim is bullshit. All right, look. All right. Oh, not y'all. That's what I seen. I seen a no, not y'all just then. The Instagram post from the mom says, I'm going to keep posting this because this had me hot. We were on our way out of Sesame Place and the kids wanted to stop and see characters. This disgusting person blatantly told our kids no, then proceeded to hug the little white girl next to us. Then when I went to complain about it, they looking at me like I'm crazy. I asked the lady who the character was and I wanted to see the super fight. You don't know who Rosita is? Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't listen. Oh man, sometimes I make myself laugh too hard. And they looking at me like I'm crazy. I asked the lady who the character was. I wanted to see the supervisor. She told me she didn't know. I will never step foot in Sesame Place ever again. And please feel free to repost this. Actually, run me my money back. So mad I stopped the video, but it got me so mad when he blatantly told them no. Rosita is a girl. Gosh. I guess it might have been a man in a costume, but y'all, listen. I'm a fan, clearly. Anyway, so you see in the video, when she walks by, she's like dapping up all the kids or whatever, and then like looks at the little girls and kind of like gestures at them like, no, not y'all, and then walks off. And then the Instagram post makes it seem like she then hugged another little girl after that video, because I was gonna say the only small like it's for later, because I'm gonna show you another video, because another video came out of this other lady who put out this video of all these different times at Sesame Place where the characters look like they not messing with the black kids. So in some of them it looks real bad, like this one. In some of them, I'm not gonna lie, you could tell it's kind of like a parade and they like walking up and down. So at some points, you could tell that they can't keep hugging and dapping up all the kids. They have to kind of like jump back in. And then it looks like they like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe of it. It seems like. And I'm not making excuses for these motherfuckers, because a lot of them just look like, oh, we don't mess with the black kids. And they got multiple videos of Rosita not messing with the black kids. And that's wild to me. That's wild. This black brown beef that we got going on at Sesame Place. Um, but yeah. So that's that. Anyway, the video shows the two girls decked out in Cookie Monster and Abby Cat Abby. I don't know what that is. Um, sparkling backpacks, waiting alongside the parade as a person in costume of another character, Rosita, makes their way down. Before reaching the girls, the character gives out high fives to another small child and an adult who both appear white. No, they are white. Yeah, whatever. When the Sesame employee reaches the two black girls who have their hands outstretched, the character waves them off and keeps on walking, leaving the girls with looks of confusion and disappointment. The adult who was with the children posted the video on Instagram and said they were on their way out of their park. Da, 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 yeah, yeah. Backlash swiftly followed after the video took off on social media, of course, where others shared similar experiences and videos, which prompted Sesame Street Philadelphia to issue a statement on Instagram in which it said it was not the character's intention to ignore the girls. The costumes of our performers sometimes make it difficult to see at lower levels, and sometimes our performers miss hug requests from the guests, the statement said. Fam. No. Them kid, no, we watched you see kids like, so these was just some big monster. These was just some mini Negro kid. Them kids was big. What? That's not even a good excuse. Like, it's an excuse and a bad one at that. The Sesame Place went on to say that it had invited the family back for a personal meet and greet opportunity with the characters, but many, including the singer Kelly Rowland, chimed in to say the damage was already done. Clearly, it is already done. These gorgeous girls will never forget that feeling. They're kids. You should be ashamed of yourself for that pathetic statement. Bruh, I know that everybody be on some like, y'all better be lucky it wasn't me and my kid, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not even going to cap to y'all, bruh. Y'all know I keep saying this. I be watching Sesame Street with Blaze. I know what Sesame Street is supposed to stand for. If Rosita stunt my baby like that, I'm bopping that head off that pop! That motherfucker pop off. We fighting. I'm going to jail. I'm fighting them up it, bro. It is what it is. I might get shot by the security guards out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm causing a panic. It's gonna be a bad look. I'm It ain't no way you just about to know. I can't. I'm a tripper at least, bro. I'm gonna throw something. I'm throwing a drink. I'm doing something, bro. I'm pulling a Riley off the boondocks. I'm throwing a chair. I'm doing something. I got to. Uh A second apology was posted on Monday in which the company apologized more directly and said its employees will receive more training for better guest experiences in the future. We sincerely apologize to the family for their experience in our park on Saturday. We know that's not okay, the company said. We're taking actions to do better. We are committed to making this right. We will conduct training for our employees so that they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience for our guests. For over 40 years, Sesame Place has worked to uphold the values of respect, inclusion, and belonging. We are committed to doing a better job in making children and families feel special, seen, and included when they come to our parks. That sounds nice, but the way that y'all responded the first time makes me feel like that's actually not true. I'm going to keep it a bill. The way they responded the first time was, well, we can't blame our performers when they don't hug your black kids. That's what they said the first time. And then after that didn't fly and the story kept getting bigger, then they was like, oh, no, 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 no. What we meant was we committed to diversity and inclusion. No, you're not. You can't like have bias training for, but like the people who are wearing a Muppet costume not hugging the black kids, they don't need you to tell them like, oh, you're supposed to hug the black kids too. But if I have to tell you that, you get the fuck on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're not built for this if that's something that somebody has to tell you, bruh. What? I don't really like the police like that. If there was a police fucking convention and I'm a Muppet at Sesame Place, I'm not gonna be sitting up there talking about stand your ground to their kids and shooting fake finger pistols at them but not walking up to them. They gonna get hugs and high fives because they kids, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? It blows me when people can't do their job in spite of what they feel personally. And I know this seems kind of like a tangent, but even like when you talk about the idea of, there was a story that came out a couple of days ago was like a CVS employee who didn't want to sell condoms to some lady because he's like, oh, this is my religious beliefs or whatever, whatever. Like, fam, you at your fucking job. Who cares? No one cares about your God at your job. Whoever your God is, no one cares when you at work because I'm not here to talk to you or learn about God. I'm here to purchase something from CV fucking S. If your religion don't fuck with something that CVS sell, then don't apply here. Bruh, do you know how many people have come into restaurants that I've worked at that were talking about stuff that I am diametrically opposed to more times than I could tell you? Do you know how many times that I have had to sit and listen to a table justify black people being murdered indiscriminate while I have to serve them for the entirety of their stay? More times than you would imagine, to be honest. All the time. Do you know how many times I've had to do it where they're intentionally doing it because I'm their servant? More times than I'd like to imagine. And how can I go to my boss and say, oh, they trying to make me feel uncomfortable by talking about something? I'm not supposed to be listening to that conversation. It's not my business. I'm here for my job. So you know what I do? I refill the iced tea and I go on about my business. So I say that to say, it's not a bias that makes you like not mess with the black kids when you the Muppet at Sesame Place. You are outright racist. You gotta go. It ain't no training. You ain't trained that away. Like, oh, we just tell them to hug the black kids. Like, hell no, bro. They be hugging the black kids and rubbing fentanyl on in their braids or something. I don't know. Planting drugs on them. Sent home to their families to go to jail. I don't trust them. I don't want little racist ass Rosita touching my kids. Hell no. I'm gonna show this video real fast, y'all, because I know y'all who are on the audio part, you can't see it because it's like 3 minutes long. I'm not gonna play all of it. It's crazy because y'all, I'm telling y'all really just need to just be on the YouTube because I really want to play all of this because it's wild. That's why. That's the one we already know. Here go Rosita again. Repeat offender. Dancing. Oh yeah, I'm hurting you. Nah, I got you with your arm. You know what I'm saying? I would be like this mom. The mom who's like low-key trying to not see it because she got the camera. Big Bird shitted on my man. But see, okay, it's okay. That's one of the ones where I was saying kind of like you could tell that it's like a performance in a parade. So it don't look to me like Big Bird was like, I'm not dapping up the black kid. Big Bird looked like, look at me capping. I'm cutting for some of them. Big Bird looked like he was just like, I'm gonna go dap up one of these kids and then jump back in the mix. Cause Big Bird went whatever. So we gonna see who else really with the mix. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. If you on the audio part podcast, just skip forward. You got to like it. Cause this the one.
You get a hug, Mo? Well, go stand over there and see what happens.
And that's one of them situations where that's it. Y'all couldn't see that, but that's one of them situations where when you black, that's the thing that sucks. Sometimes you'll be around some shit and you'll feel like, man, is this happening because of whatever? And then like you like, maybe I'm tripping, but then you like, I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really what it is. So I know that woman was probably mad then. And maybe her dude was like, oh, you just sounded like he was like, well, go over there. Like, maybe it's because of you type shit. But now this happens and you like, dang, we was at that same Sesame Place and they did my baby the same way. All right, let's see.
I thought it was part of it. That's why I didn't
look, Rosita. Here come Rosita. Racist Rosita.
Hey! Who said it's okay, Big Bird? That girl that was
okay. Okay. That one seemed kind of like the thing I was saying too, where it's like they do a little dap, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because there was a little gap there. But see, this is what happens when you do some fuck shit. People start analyzing everything you do. This the one from earlier. I think that's why you got
Look at Elmo.
See, hell no. And who was that? Who was that? Go ahead, y'all. See, go ahead, y'all. Take, bruh. We shooting Rosita shit up, bro. Me and my niggas is coming to the barrio. We fucking Rosita and them up, bro. We not. Again. This is not even Sesame Place. This is Times Square. We're not even watching this. We're wasting our time. Again. Who is this? Who is this? Yeah, y'all. Listen, we don't need to watch this.
There's more.
Because we got the point.
Elmo, do me a favor. Tell Ernie come outside. He just smacked her. Tell him come outside. We ain't gonna jump him. We just want to talk. Tell him come outside. This is why I like cake.
Bruh. New York niggas make everything funny. Anyway, y'all, yeah. That's all I got on Sesame Street, bro. That shit is really wild to me. Like, I couldn't even really... I don't know, man. I couldn't even really get my mind around it. Because it's just so fucked that they kids, bro. Like, even if you're a racist, like, the kids got to get the smoke, too. You can't let the babies live. Like, whatever. Like I said, we'd be fighting if it was me. We got some Texas news today. Something like right out of Houston. Believe it or not, I think maybe it's because I live in Houston. I get lots of Houston news. And they've been talking about this out here a little bit too, and I kind of think it's crazy. So we're gonna do it, but first, per Haley, you know what I'm saying, since we don't have any theme music for Texas news yet, we gotta get a good old yeah. I'm really childish. Anyway, Houston D.J. 23 dies after falling from balcony of girlfriend's high-rise apartment building. DJ D-Baby's partner said in a Facebook post that she had been dropped off at her apartment intoxicated after a night out. DJ on the rise has passed away after falling from an apartment building in Texas on July 4th. She was 23. DJ D-Baby, whose real name is Darian Lewis, fell 4 stories from her girlfriend's balcony on the 13th floor onto the 9th floor pool deck at the Camden downtown apartments on Austin Street in Houston. She was rushed to local hospital and died July 13th. Ooh, so she like, that sucks, man. She had just celebrated her 23rd birthday on the 24th of June, just days before her fall. Investigations into Lewis's death is still ongoing, but preliminary indications are that Lewis's death was an unfortunate accident, a police spokesman told an outlet on Friday. On the day of her passing, Lewis's mother, Terry, confirmed her passing with a series of pictures of them on Facebook, posting, "My youngest and only daughter has transitioned. Please pray for the family. My heart is heavy and broken." Lewis' girlfriend, Nisha Jackson, has also spoken out about the passing in a Facebook post. Jackson and Lewis have been dropped off at her apartment, intoxicated after a night out. Jackson wrote that when Lewis arrived, she ran to the balcony, climbed onto a patio chair. Once she climbed on the chair, I sprinted from the door to her, but she fell over before I could save her, Jackson wrote. Jackson then ran after her. I got to her and immediately screamed and summoned for help, she wrote. In the post, Jackson also responded to rumors that she was involved in Lewis passing. "There's no way I could have pushed her over," she said. "We were not fighting. We were far from perfect. We have issues like most, but I would never hurt her, whom I love, nor anyone in such a manner," Jackson wrote. Jackson added, "I was devastated. Her father said, we're going to trust the system. We're going to let them do their job." Yeah. That's crazy. Basically, it just goes on to say like her career was going off, like she was really popular out here, all this other stuff. That's really crazy. It's one of those things that's crazy no matter why or no matter what happened. If her girlfriend is lying, that's crazy because her girlfriend pushed her off the balcony and killed her. If she's not lying, that's crazy because she basically got home and like ran on the balcony on some like I'm about to twerk on the balcony shit, probably like on some like, you know what I'm saying, like on some silly shit. Like I'm not even saying it on no like disparaging shit. Like that's why I didn't call it goofy. I went out of my way to not call it goofy. Like being silly, like just having fun, drunk, like, you know, living life type shit. And shit, just you drunk and you slip, and that's crazy. 23 is young. It's probably crazy as the parents too, because if you the parents, you looking at it like, how do I don't even know if I can process this, because you don't want it to be, do you know how like you have an inclination to want things to be one way or the other? How would you even want it to be in this situation? Do you want it to be something where, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I do know what I'm trying to say, but it's like what can you hope for? That's what I'm saying. He'd be like, I hope it was an accident. It's still tragic. I hope it wasn't, because you don't want it to be so senseless, I guess maybe, but it's like you still don't want it to be that. It's overall, it's just a tragic situation. It's crazy if that happened out here. I know those apartments. You know, you just got to be careful out here. The next, I got something for y'all. You know what I'm saying? The next segment, has its own. We got new theme music, bro. We got a new segment, intro, if you will. In the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here.
Hi, I'm Sarah McLaughlin. Will you be an angel for a helpless animal? Every day, innocent animals are abused, beaten, and neglected, and they're crying out for help.
Yes. You guessed it. Our newest segment. You should have said you were a dog. You feel what I'm saying? Because y'all know, out here, we not letting no animal suffer. We got all the sympathy for an animal. But a person? Fuck them. 911 dispatcher faces manslaughter charge after failing to send ambulance. A 911 dispatcher has been charged with involuntary manslaughter after he failed to send an ambulance to a woman in a rural Pennsylvania who was bleeding and incoherent and who died a day later, authorities say. The dispatcher, Leon Price, 50, of Waynesburg, had indicated on a 911 call with the woman's daughter, Kelly D. Tichenel, that he would not send an ambulance to her mother, Diana L. Cronk, unless Miss Cronk agreed to go to the hospital, according to the criminal complaint. But a 911 dispatcher does not have the legal authority to refuse to send medical services on a condition of medical refusal, and there's no evidence that Miss Cronk intended to refuse medical services, the complaint says. Mr. Price was charged on June 26 with 4 misdemeanors: involuntary manslaughter, recklessly endangering another person, official oppression, and obstructing of administration of law or other government function. It is rare that 911 dispatchers get criminally charged, but it has been done in the past, and in this case, the evidence suggests that the Cronk family was denied emergency services that led to the death of a family member, Mr. Russo said in an interview. It is not immediately clear if Mr. Price had a lawyer, but he could not be reached on the phone numbers listed under his name. He has not entered a plea, so I guess he's not in jail. But I think that Philadelphia has a bail reform. I'm not sure. If it does, that's the reason why he's probably not in jail. Because in these places that have bail reform, it's like, if you're not a danger, basically they're like, if we don't think you could get away and you're not a danger, like, why would we hold you in prison based on the amount of money you have? We basically just only charging you based on how much money you have on poverty. Somebody asked me before, about my charge about my felony. They were like, you know, what happened? I was like, oh, it was easy. I mean, I didn't come from poverty, so I didn't have to tell on nobody or nothing. I just had to pay a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? My family had enough money to pay all the times that they were like, well, pay us this and pay us this and we'll put you in this and pay us this and we'll put you in that and pay us this, we'll put you in that. Like, that's the way that works. You get locked up, just real quick, sidebar, you get locked up and they're like, if you have this amount of money, we'll let you out right now. Pretty much regardless of what you did, unless you like murdered somebody. If you have this amount of bond, we'll let you out. And they're like, oh, if you don't have that, you can give 10% of that to somebody else and they'll get you out, but you don't get it back. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to get a lawyer. If your lawyer sucks, and you go to jail. So then you like, it's like, how much money do you have to spend on a lawyer? If you have good money to spend on a lawyer, you get a good lawyer, and then your lawyer can get you into a better situation. A lot of times, the situations that your lawyer will get you put in will end up being like a program of some sort. A lot of those programs require you to pay for the services you receive within them. So again, if you have money, if you have resources, then you could pretty much get off of most shit. But if you don't, then you won't. That's why bail is a poverty crime, essentially. It just holds people in prison for being poor. And I'm all for bail reform. I just think that it could be done better in a lot of places. And that is a different conversation because a lot of these places do bail reform and they let everybody out. And then it's a bad look. It has to be a middle ground somewhere. Anyway, usually accusations like this result in disciplinary action. Criminal charges are for what is effectively criminal charges for what is effectively neglect of duty, and that is what the argument here is, are very, very rare. The maximum penalty for involuntary manslaughter in Pennsylvania is 5 years in prison and $10,000 fine. That's wild because I know that it's a different place because America, like, your laws are different. But just so y'all are aware, when I first got arrested on my felony charge, which, by the way, I had 17 grams of weed, bags, scales, $3,380, if I'm not mistaken. They were like, we're going to give you 5 years in prison and 7 years on paper after you get out. That was the first offer that the DA gave me. So, like, I don't know what the maximum was on what they could have given me, but it's not 5 years and $10,000 fine. My bail was $10,000. But anyway, just fun fact. She told the dispatcher that her mother was really bad, hadn't been out of bed in 3 days, had been drinking heavily, was turning yellow, and lost so much weight and was making noises, according to an audio recording of the 911 call released by Miss Tichenell's lawyer. The dispatcher asked Miss Tichenell if her mother was willing to go to the hospital. She's going or she's going to die, Miss Tichenell said. The dispatcher said, we can't force her to go into an ambulance. After he repeated that, Miss Cronk could not be forced to go to the hospital and had to be willing to go. Miss Tichenell said she's got to go because if not, she's going to die. She added, I don't think she's even in her right state of mind right now. The dispatcher ended the call with Miss Tichenell, who was driving to the home where her mother was staying, by asking her to call back once she got there to make sure she's willing to go before we send resources out there in case she says no. He added that as long as Miss Cronk was willing to go, he would send the ambulance. So basically, he just decided he was going to be like the end all be all. He's like, if she's not going to go, we're not going to waste the resources to send it out there. So you need to go check. And that to me sounds like he's got some issue with alcoholics, probably, because people be bringing their personal shit into their jobs, like we was talking about before. And so she's like, my mom's over there drinking herself to death, basically. And he's over there like, well, she deserves to die. She should die. Well, if she's not going to take care of herself, why should we send all these resources to take care of somebody who don't care about themselves? All the stuff you hear people say about addicts and people who have substance abuse issues, that's the energy that this exudes. This just gives that off to me. That's what they say, that this is giving bias against people with substance abuse. That's what it's giving, goddamn. That is wild. Ms. Boland said that Ms. Tichenell did not call 911 again once she got to home. Having the services refused by 911 defeated her mentally, he said, adding, you don't have to call back. It should have been dispatched immediately. Ms. Tichenell said in an interview that she had no cell service at the house and that she found her mother outside and naked. Ms. Cronk, 54, who is jaundiced and bleeding from a hole in her esophagus, died in the house the next day, July 2nd, without an ambulance ever being sent. It's like, what's the issue? Miss Tichenelle says she's not good enough to receive the same treatment as anyone else. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. The county detectives' investigation revealed that 911 services violated protocol and their own procedures by refusing to dispatch an ambulance to Miss Kronk, even though all 3 ambulances were available. All 3? So he's like, we're not going to waste resources. And it's not even like they were on their last one, or it was a whole bunch of other stuff going on that night. And it was like, we trying to triage who needs it and who doesn't. You just wild got a hair up your ass that you just not. That's wild. Yeah, he said an investigation was continuing and would examine whether this was a result of a potential unwritten 911 management policy in Greene County. And that's crazy too, because I actually didn't even think about that. What's the likelihood that this is just what we do here? You know, where this is par for the course. That's wild. In general, dispatchers abide by the motto, when in doubt, send them out, which you should, which encourages them to dispatch emergency medical workers, police, or firefighters who can assess the situation in person. Yeah, because it's not your job. You're not even trained to. I don't know whether or not the action or inaction of this particular I don't know whether or not the inaction or action of this particular dispatcher warrants charges. That's really something a judge and jury is going to have to figure out. In May, an emergency service dispatcher in Buffalo, who is accused of hanging up on a 911 call from a supermarket employee during a shooting rampage, was fired. That was during the Buffalo shooting at Tops. Yeah, that's just recounting that story. I don't want to talk about the black people who got murdered that day anymore. Yeah. Again, y'all. Wild shit. Like, literally wild shit. Sorry. That's crazy though, that you could be a 911 dispatcher and it just shows you how much power certain people have. And it shows you how much bias can really impact people. You know, like when black people be tripping about how it's racist people in this sector and this and blah, blah, blah. Or when women talk about how misogyny is in this and this. Or when people who aren't from America talk about how Americans have this America first mentality or all of these different things. People act like those things don't matter. But then you look at something as simple as a 911 dispatcher. And yeah, you're like, oh, that's an important job. But a 911 dispatcher is an hourly position. These aren't. Yeah, I don't think you need a degree to be a cop. You could probably be a 911 dispatcher with a high school diploma. And I'm not saying that to say that they're not necessary or smart people. I'm saying the barrier for entry is low enough that there's not some wild screening process to ensure that you don't get people in here who have the kind of bias that would lead them to make decisions like that. To decide, you know, these people aren't worth these services in lieu of these other people. That's the problem to me. That's why the investigation is necessary. And it is, at least it's in good faith, hopefully, that they doing the investigation, they really give a fuck, because that's really ridiculous. And they would never let this happen to a dog. To be clear, just to ring it all in. I don't know how y'all feel about the segment, but the point remains true. If you called 911 and said that there was a dog outside bleeding, making noises, they might tell you that they couldn't do anything, but they would tell you exactly who to call and how to get it done. And when you call animal control, they would be there in a jiffy. You could post on Facebook that she could have made a Facebook post, and it would have been people out there offering to come pick the dog up and transport them and pay for the vet bills. And she could have put my mom is out here fucked off, and people would have been like, oh, well, you know, she be drinking too much. She could have put my dog out here fucked off, and people would have been offering to cover the vet costs and transport. We can come to you. If you're not willing to take care of him, we can take him in, you know. I don't dislike dogs. I don't have no beef with dogs. I fuck with dogs. I don't really like cats like that, but I really do like dogs. So I'm not saying, you know, fuck the dogs. I'm saying, you know, it's wild that we care more about dogs than we do about people. Anyway, it's some completely unrelated news. That's a little bit more. It's a little bit of a bright spot, especially for LLC Twitter. Gonna love this. I see this. I see this post all the time, and it's not that it's not true. It's just that at what point do motherfuckers realize that like your position is not an original take? Like the fact that I'm not tripping on it when it come up in conversation or whatever. But when people post this, like I was just thinking, in high school they taught us algebra and geometry, but they didn't teach us about money and how the world works. Like nigga, we know, bruh. That tweet been made a billion times over. That post been made a billion times over. Yes, they don't teach us the right shit in high school. They waste our time. They teach us things that we're not gonna know. The education system is not emphasized, is not structured for the success of students in America. It's trash. It's all messed up. We know. You're not deep. It's true though. So when I saw the story, I was like, I got something for y'all fake deep niggas. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you baby deep. Maybe you are deep and just you had a moment where you thought that you had just reinvented the wheel. You know, like sometimes you'll be thinking, damn. I remember one time I thought to myself, they should make a milk made out of the like flavors from the cereal, because the milk after you eat the cereal is so good. When I said that, I really thought that that was a banger. Like this, no one on the planet has ever thought of this. Now that I'm grown, I'm like, of course, other motherfuckers had thought you should make this milk that already tastes like the milk after you eat the Apple Jacks. Like, duh. Duh, you want Frosted Flake milk. Duh, you want Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. Duh, you want Trix milk. Duh, if you a chocolate fan, you want Cocoa Crispy, Cocoa Crunch milk, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Duh. That's how I feel about people who say that they should teach about literacy in high school. But anyway, personal finance course to be required in the future of South Carolina students to graduate high school. To graduate high school, students probably have to learn the Pythagorean theorem, memorize 3 branches of governments and their functions, and read a little Shakespeare. But in the future, South Carolina students will need to learn skills like managing credit cards, filing taxes, and filing taxes to get their diplomas. This upcoming requirement to take a personal finance course comes after a multi-year bipartisan push at the State House to make sure South Carolina students are financially literate and prepared for life after high school. I think it's so important to try and teach them some of these fundamental skills as kids as soon as they can, so they just get off on the right foot. Joy teaches a personal finance class at Lucky Beckham High School in Mount Pleasant, where students have to take the course in their sophomore year. His lessons cover units on budgeting, checking, savings, and more. We actually teach the kids how to prepare taxes, and actually some of those kids have gone on to prepare taxes for their parents. So these are the type of skills. I'm Floyd Mayweather. So these are the type of life skills that I think are really valuable, Joy said. Soon, all South Carolina high schoolers will have to learn these skills to graduate. A law written in the current state budget directs the South Carolina Department of Education to develop the regulations for a required high school course in personal finance by the end of September to be approved by the State Board of Education. We understand all our students need this. They need the foundation and background knowledge and the schema and the financial literacy rather than finding out when it's too late. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I thought that was dope. When I saw it, I was like, hell yeah, that's super player. Y'all really gonna do something for these kids, and you know what I'm saying? You know, make sure that they come out knowing something. I had a friend, one of my best friends actually. Everybody says her parents are rich. We used to always make fun of her, say she's rich, which is funny. You would make fun of somebody for like their parents not, being in poverty, whatever. And then like growing up, now that we're grown, her parents aren't like actually like, I wouldn't consider her parents rich. Her parents are just very comfortable. They well off. They well off. They not rich, right? But her dad, he's like a financial whatever. Like I don't know exactly what his title is. I know he works for, and see, this is how deep this shit is. I know the title of who he works for or used to work for was also a major credit card company. I don't know if like it's a separate branch altogether, whatever. Oh, I ain't said her name. He used to work like as some kind of subsidiary of American Express, from what I imagine, but from what I remember, if I'm right. But the whole point is, his whole thing was managing finances and making sure that people's like portfolios is right and shit like that or whatever. So of course, his daughter is really good with money. She's not rich. She don't make it. So she work in education. So you know she don't make crazy great money. But she's always been comfortable before all of us. She bought a house young. She's always been able to take care of herself. She's always had good credit. She's always had, and like, I don't know how good her credit is. She's always been able to get all the things she wanted in her name though. So I know that she's never had credit as a barrier to anything. And it was really, to me, majority based on having an understanding of what money does and how you're supposed to do with money. That to me was her biggest leg up over everyone else, not any of the other stuff that people might have thought. So to see this class, I really do think that it'll make a tangible difference in the way that kids at that age see money. Now, it's a sad that climate change is going to kill us all before they're able to do it, because y'all, I could have done a podcast worth of stories about this 100-degree weather that's all over the country, killing all the cows and melting fucking landing strips for airports and just wreaking havoc. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go through all of that, but it's no point. Y'all all know. Anyway, y'all, I was telling y'all, because of white people do this, you know, I really did feel a way, y'all. I don't ever want white people to feel like I'm picking on them. Like, you know, I know we got our shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's stories just like as white people do this is, and y'all can't do it. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all can't do it. If you white, you can't submit me an idea for this segment. You can't be like, oh, I think that the nigga segment, I think that this, when I heard this story, I knew it was a nigga. Nuh-uh, don't do that. Don't do that. That's what we're not gonna do. I've referenced this podcast before. The Black Guy Who Tips podcast has a segment where they're like, guess the race. And I feel like white people should feel free to participate in Guess the Race because it's a game. And they like, ha ha ha, we all playing, it's all fun and games, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Right? This ain't no game though, just sending me shit like, I saw this and thought it would be black. Because the reason why you don't want to do that is, if it is funny, if I'm like, dang, that is some nigga shit, and I ain't gonna think it's racist, I'm gonna think it's funny. But if I don't think it's funny, it's immediately racist. So do you wanna toe that line? You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to commit to it because white people do this as a song. And maybe some of these are stand-ins until Keys gives me some real songs and some real cutscenes to these podcasts or whatever. But right now, when I seen this story, I knew who was responsible. I knew that there was no way that this was anybody else. And as a result, I had to go ahead and file it under this here.
Yeah. Motherfucker. What's up, nigga? Gangsta rap, nigga. 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 I'm 100% nigga. Nigga. I'm 200% nigga. Nigga.
Yeah, because it's us though. Former Amazon employee accused of stealing more than $100,000 in merchandise from warehouses. And I know y'all are like, you didn't know he was black just off of that. I did not. A former Amazon worker is being charged with stealing more than $100,000 in merchandise from the company's warehouses across the Southeast. Investigators say at least one of those thefts happened in Metro Atlanta. Marquise Ryans is accused in Georgia of stealing more than $30,000 worth of merchandise from the big Amazon distribution center in Coweta County. An investigator with the Coweta County Sheriff's Office says Ryans knows how to navigate the big building from getting in to getting around to getting out. While doing that, he's accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of Apple products and other electronics. The thefts were not just in Georgia, but also in Alabama and Mississippi. Y'all, I'm actually going to play the story on this because I got a feeling that they're going to read all of this that I said because
we can't wait to be done.
I said this was us. The reason why I'm like, oh my God, this is some nigga shit is because when you watch him doing it and you watch him and his girl pull up. She pull up like they about to rob this thing, right? On some real obvious shit. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all, if they pull up in the vehicle that I remember, you will completely understand why we had to watch the video, bro. Hold on, I'm about to pull it up for y'all.
Merchandise.
Authorities say the merchandise came from the company's warehouses across the southeast, including right here in Metro Atlanta. Fox 5's Doug Evans has those details.
Marquise Ryans is accused of stealing more than $300,000 worth of merchandise from the Amazon distribution center right here in Noonan in Coweta County. If you've never seen one of these warehouses, they are huge. An investigator here with the Coweta County Sheriff's Office says Ryans knows how to navigate the big building, how to get in, how to get out. And while doing that, he's accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of Apple products and other electronics. Not just here in Coweta County, but also in Alabama and Mississippi.
This individual is a past employee of Amazon. He worked back there in 2020 at an Amazon distribution center. Once he's inside, he's comfortable. He starts talking.
Hold on.
Electronics.
I tried to take
the
a little
big
break
building,
and check my
how
phone.
to get in, how to get.
So I didn't pay attention. For y'all on the audio, y'all didn't see it. But when they pulled up in that Altima and backed that thing in, I was like, bro, not the Altima. I feel bad because I used to have an Altima and I used to work at a Nissan dealership. So I used to sell Altima. So I used to sell that ratchetness. Anyway.
Get out. And while doing that, he's accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of Apple products and other electronics. Not just here in Coweta County, but also in Alabama and Mississippi.
This individual is a past employee of Amazon. He worked back there in 2020 at an Amazon distribution center. Once he's inside, he's comfortable. He starts talking to other employees. He starts talking to management. He walks in the break room. He grabs a little handheld device for one of the scanners and just starts going down each aisle of Amazon, just picking up items and putting them in the bins.
I thought my man's was working at Amazon and he was robbing Amazon. He used to work for Amazon, kept his vest, and was just pulling up on Amazon centers across the state, across 3 states, pretending to clock in and just robbing them. He like, oh yeah, he walk around. He like, yeah, this just like the other one. Tell his girl where to pull up and load the Altima up and dip. Y'all.
Yeah.
He did.
Motherfucker. What's up, nigga? Gangsta rap, nigga. Nigga. I'm 100% nigga. Nigga. I'm 200% nigga. Nigga.
Bruh. Nobody else would do this. This is us, y'all.
Investigators say Marquise Ryans is 28 years old. He's under arrest in Alabama and will eventually be extradited to Georgia. He's accused of stealing over $100,000 worth of merchandise so far from Amazon distribution centers in Huntsville, Alabama, Horn Lake, and Olive Branch, Mississippi, as well as right here in Noonan. He is a suspect in similar thefts at Amazon distribution centers in Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, according to authorities.
And we're still getting more tips in of where other incidents have happened at Amazon warehouses.
Since hitting this Amazon distribution center right here in Noonan, investigators tell me that Amazon has tightened up security, especially when it comes to how former employees get in the building.
That is crazy. Oh yeah, you not stepping foot in the Amazon facility without a badge now. They like, yeah, who the fuck is you?
I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News in Coweta County.
There's literally no way you getting in there now. They done messed it up for everybody, bruh. They done messed it up for everybody. That is crazy. They done had a whole little underground ring selling iPhones, iPads. You know it was all Apple products. Them when they was on there talking about them the type of people who when you text them, they be like, ew, your text message is green. Like, you stole all this, bro. What are you talking about? I'm just... It's just wild to me. The way people are. The world is just... What is... It's you think that things are way more secure than they are. I always say anytime you get somewhere and you have to do some extra shit, you like, man, who fucked this up for everybody? Now when you go to Amazon and you got to show them the inside of your asshole before you can go start your 12-hour slave shift or a slave shift, because you know they be out there talking about you can't piss until you leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they talking about, bro. That's what's going down. He really finessed them, bruh. They said that it's more. The story said that they waiting on more reports because they just trying to prove that it's him. He about to get bammed over the head. You know they about to get that man 1,000,000 years, bruh. They about to get that man 1,000,000 years. But you know what, man? I believe in balance. So since we had to do that, we got to do this.
White people. White people do this.
Yeah. Couple in Nevada, live in a museum, found a bunch of weapons, knew they were white. Hit play.
I wasn't sure what was going on at the time. I just thought it was weird because I was like, that's a children's museum. What could be happening at 9, 10:30, even 11 o'clock at night?
Leia Tushimoto works right across the street from Children's Museum of Nevada in Carson City. She recalls the night the sheriff's office responded to the area of Ann Street and North Carson late last week, where 41-year-old Wilbert Calhoun was arrested.
I know that the manager was living there with, I believe, his wife, and I don't remember exactly how many kids. I'd heard 5, I'd heard 2. And that they'd found paraphernalia of marijuana and some weapons, and that they were what is supposedly supposed to be a locked space, but some people say it's not a locked space.
The Carson City Sheriff's Office says they recovered dozens of ammunition magazines, an AK-47, 3 handguns, 1 AR-style pistol, 3 suppressors, and a bong among the items found.
Fam, why you got a whole arsenal hidden with you in the Children's Museum, but you clearly homeless? Sell them guns. That's how I know y'all be fanatics about them things. Because you gonna even have your whole life. You don't have your whole life no more. You done found a place to live with you and your 2 to 5 kids. And you like, but what I won't do is get rid of these guns. You can't even put the guns up from the kids. How you gonna hide the guns from the kids? The kids just running around chewing on the guns, hungry and shit like that. Hearing the kids playing upstairs, you telling them to shut the fuck up before they get you caught or something like that. Bro, this is ridiculous, the way y'all living. What?
The museum hosts field trips and birthday parties for children.
Of course it does.
To daily
It's a
admission.
museum.
Like I get off at 11 o'clock at night, and so I would still see lights on in back parts of the building, and I thought that would be odd.
Deputies say this was not the first time they're called out to the area for an unsupervised child, which was Calhoun's. He denied living at the museum with his wife, the museum manager, and their 5 children.
That area gives me the creep out vibes. I'm not going to go there again, and I'm not going to advise it to anybody that will be staying at the hotel I work at or any friends. If anybody asks, I'm going to say, nope, that's not a place I would advise.
Calhoun also worked at...
That's funny to me because that belongs on white people who do this too. The fact that she's also going to make it her mission to tell people not to go over there, as though that's somehow indicative of the Children's Museum itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were people living in there. Yeah, I mean, they locked the door, now they gone. That was them crazy ass people. They probably, when they built the Children's Museum, they weren't like, man, we need to make sure that no man and his family and his 17 guns come shack up in this motherfucker when we close after field trips. It probably never occurs to nobody. They probably just gonna lock the door. You ain't gotta tell everybody don't go to the kids museum now, all because crazy ass Billy Bob had been down here jerking off to his fucking AK-47 or something like that. I wonder what, you know, he's a crazy. These be the kind of people who don't need to be able to have guns to me. If you love your guns so much that you, your guns, and your family gonna go live in the bottom of a museum, bro, you love your guns too much, them guns gotta go. Some of them. This nigga probably donating plasma won't sell a pistol.
To the museum as a janitor. He was let go. We're waiting to hear back from the Carson City District Attorney's Office for next steps for Calhoun and the children.
That's what happened. That's why they say he used to be a janitor there and he got fired. He just had the keys. My man said, don't worry about it, sweetheart. I know what time y'all be gone. Don't nobody be in here but me. He probably been down there. He got his bong. That's home. That's wild. My man's had a bong there. They solely in the brand of weed smokers. Weed smokers don't do that. That's crackhead behavior. They must have just been out of crack. But you know what? To be honest, that's weird. That doesn't fit in with the weed brand to me. Because one thing I know about crackheads, they don't even smoke weed like that. If they got a bong, they not crackheads. More than likely. I'm not saying definitely. It's always an exception. But by and large, if they got a bunch of weed smoking paraphernalia, they don't smoke crack. They don't do hard drugs. The people who do hard drugs, weed is nothing. They like, get that out of here. Where's the drugs? So, whatever. But yeah, definitely jerks off and nuts on his pistols.
But the board that oversees the museum has currently closed the doors as they look for a new manager. For more, you can head to our website at mynews4.com.
Damn, niggas need a new manager now. Yeah, man, that's y'all. That's all y'all, man. I don't know what to tell you. I saw that story and I was just like, man, y'all are really wilding. It's crazy how I see certain things. I'm like, those are definitely certain things. I'm like, those are definitely y'all. Living at the bottom of the Children's Museum with your AR-15s. Until they said AR-15s, it could have been, he could have been black. They could have been anything, but it's the guns, bro. It's that obsession with guns. That's so weird to me. How you got two living in the same home. Anyway, I think I'm winding down, y'all. I'm getting tired. I don't have much more energy. It's been an hour. But I did have one last thing because we got a Dale Jackson Award this week. I have got to give the Dale Jackson Award to the white lady who was in the postal packaging store the other day. And I also have to tell the Postal Service to eat dicks in the same fucking breath. I forgot about this. Yo, I get all this new Samsung shit, right? Samsung had like a little special day where they had like everything on sale, all these things. I ended up getting this big ass tablet, came with a free Chromebook, some free fucking Samsung Galaxy Buds. Let me show you. Free Samsung Galaxy Buds for the free ski. You know what I'm saying? Fucked around. That's when I got my watch. You know what I'm saying? I got my watch. I got a free Chromebook, my tablet, like $150 worth of free accessories, all kinds of stuff for like this mad deal. And I traded in an old phone that I wasn't using no more for it. That's why I was at the postal store. Me and Blaze at the postal store. She's being a baby running around playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm wrestling with her, trying to keep her occupied while the people in front of me are kind of trying to get their stuff done. You know what I'm saying? And she's not being bad or nothing. She's just being a kid. And I'm not struggling. But when you with a 1-year-old, you kind of want to keep them engaged to a degree so that they don't get fussy. You know what I'm saying? So I was just with her, right? It gets to our turn to do it. And what I need done is only like $2-3. And all I have is a card. So I was about to have to go all the way to the car to get some cash. Because I had some cash in the car. I was going to have to go to the car to get some cash. And I was going to come back in and pay for it in cash. But then the lady behind me, as me and Blaze are getting ready to walk out, she rings her up and her stuff is like $3. So I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be like $6 together. So I go back and I'm like, you know what, ma'am, don't worry about it. I'll actually pay for your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to spend that much anyway. It'll save me a trip. She was like, no. I was actually going to pay for yours. You doing such a great job with that little girl. Let me take care of this for you, whatever. So I was like, oh, thank you so much, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I appreciate the fuck out of it. She was a white lady. She gets a Dale Jackson Award because she a white lady who showed me and my little black baby some love. Fast forward, I get an email from Samsung talking about your trade-in hasn't been accepted. I'm like, what? Y'all, when they sent me the pictures of my phone, it's like them niggas went full on Rick James, fuck your couch on my phone, like just start stomping my shit out, like Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy was stomping out Rick James, like, bro, like they was beating the fuck out of my shit, like my shit looked like it's all crushed and shit. They like, we could send it back to you since it don't meet the qualifications. You're like, I don't want it now. It used to work. What the fuck? So fuck the fucking post office, bro. What? This was supposed to be about that lovely white lady who showed me love, and this ended up being about the bitch-ass post office. But you know what? Sometimes it bees like that. But you know what? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. click the link in the description and do all this stuff. Subscribe, because if enough of y'all don't start subscribing and paying me money, I'm leaving forever. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not playing, but you know what I'm saying? Don't do it for that reason. Do it because you want to. I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next episode. Peace.